Hello YouTube, it's Carlos the Rook, and I'm bringing you round one from my favorite place, which is Chess Zone. And this tournament was called December Generations. And the way this tournament is structured is different from the ones I normally play. And it's by age groups. So the kids play each other in the bracket, and the adults play each other in the bracket also. So in round one, I match up with Kevin. He's rated 833, and I'm rated 1781. So he starts off with e4. I respond c5 with my Sicilian defense. Knight f3, d6, and here he plays h3. This just took me out of all my opening prep. h3. I just didn't know what h3 was, and I didn't know the proper response. So I figured I just go with developing moves, normal development moves, develop my piece, look for king safety, and just respond to what he do. So I play knight c6, which is the best move in the position. And here he plays bishop c4. So he's shooting at the f7 pawn. So I play e6 to protect that pawn. So there's no sacks or f7 coming, but maybe knight g5, queen f3 trying to pressure f7. And here he responds d4. So I capture on d4. He captures. And I didn't want to capture here, because if I capture, then his queen capture, it develops his queen. So I felt bishop d7 would be more in line. And when the bishop is on c4, you got to watch out for when you castle sacks on e6. So I move bishop to d7, keeping this bishop protecting e6. And here he goes c3. Basically, he's offering me to take him, and then he solidifies the solid center. I'm never taking that knight. So here I start developing my king side, knight f6, hitting the pawn. And he goes bishop g5, pinning the knight. The engine wanted queen e2 here. And it wants me to play queen b6, just giving up that knight and putting pressure on the queen side. I play bishop e7, which is more of a human move. Protect the knight. And here he plays knight d2. And his idea is to protect the e4 pawn. I didn't think that looked right. I like the queen e2 better. Maybe, yeah, queen e2. Let me see what the engine says here. The engine likes, it's fluctuating between queen e2 and bishop captures f6. It likes knight d2 now. So I guess nothing wrong with knight d2. The engine has that as an option. It's a move. So he plays knight d2. And here I respond knight e5. And the engine did not like this move at all. Let me back up. It has me with a slight advantage, 0.45. And it wants me to capture the knight because giving him the center. That's crazy. Capture the knight and giving the center? That doesn't make sense to me. I went knight e5, hitting the bishop. And now he has to fade the bishop back to e2. And my idea was if he was to go bishop b3, I got a check on d3. Let me show that. If he was to go bishop b3, check here. And the king loses castling rights. And it can also come in here, getting the pawn. Ah, no, it might not be good. The engine don't like that. Let's stay in queen c2. My knight can get out, can't it? Knight 8. Oh no, you're taking twice. So no, that's a bad move. So after here, the knight needs to retreat back to c5. And hitting the bishop and hitting this pawn twice. So that's why he had to go bishop e2 to keep the knight out of d3. So here I castle. And Kevin castles also. So in this position, I wasn't really sure what to do. I'm out of my opening prep. I got pressure on the knight, on the pawn on e4. I know I want to get in d5. But how do I get in d5 without him destroying my structure? If I just go d5, bishop captures knight, bishop captures bishop, pawn captures d5, pawn captures d5, and I end up with an isoloni. And at this point, I didn't want to isolate a pawn. So I come up with a waiting move. a6. I just felt like it improved my position. It keeps the knight off of b5, and I can bring a rook to c8 in the future. And if I want b5, I can get b5. If I don't need it. And also another idea is b5, bishop c8 to b7, and putting more pressure on that pawn on e4. And he responds with a waiting move of his own, a3. And I wasn't sure what a3 accomplished, because you already got c3, so you don't have to worry about anything hitting b4. Just what was the point of a3? I didn't understand that move at all. I feel like you just wasted the tempo. I think f4, f5 would have been a better thing, trying to push along this king side, opening this up. And yeah, the engines, first it said f4, then it said a4, now it's saying c4. So it looks like the engine likes a4, stopping b5. So here I thought for a while, and I decided to go ahead and go with the d5 and take the isolated pawn. But I felt like I got compensation for it. So the engine wants knight g6 here. So I went d5. And here he should go f4, hitting the knight. But he goes queen c2 instead. So he's basically wanting to take back with the knight. And if I exchange knight, he could take twice here on e4. So I capture e4. He captures. And now I go knight to d5 instead of taking the knight. He captures the bishop. I capture with the queen. So now I got an outpost on this knight on d5. So here, the engine wants him to play rook on f to e1. But now he plays f4 a bit late. And now I have an advantage of 1.91. So the engine wants knight g6 here. I came up with an in-between move. Knight e3, forking the queen and the rook. And the engine wants queen c1. I guess the idea is queen c1, knight captures, Let me see. Queen C1. Knight captures F1. F captures E5. Okay, Queen H4. Because the knight is trapped. This knight is stopping it from coming out. Bishop to G4. Knight to G3. Knight D6. Then it's Knight F5. Bishop captures. E captures. And here the engine wants Queen E3. How would you take back Queen E3? I'm not even sure what that does. Instead here Kevin played Queen D2. I'm not sure what the difference is. I captured the rook. He captured it back with the rook. And now I go Knight G6, moving my knight to safety. Ah, he needed to capture this knight first. Then the other knight was trapped in there. So that was the difference right there. The other knight was trapped and couldn't get out. So he needed to capture this knight. That's why that knight move was not good. I'd have been giving up 2 knights for the rook. Okay, I see it now. So Knight F3, rook on A to D8, lining up against the queen. And here he goes Knight D6, and I felt like this was a big error because now the queen is pinned. And the last thing you want to do is put a knight in front of that. So I'm going to get a discovery when his bishop moves. So I go bishop c6, hitting the other knight, and putting a double attack on this knight. So he goes rook d1 to protect. And I missed my move. The move here is bishop a4, hitting the rook. And if that rook moves, the knight falls. So, and if the rook don't move, you win the exchange. And maybe the knight still fall. Yeah, that's brutal. But I missed it. Instead, I played rook d7 with the idea of doubling up rooks and putting pressure on that knight. And he played knight e5, hitting my rook and bishop. I take the knight. He bring the pawn over. And so here the engine wants f6, but instead I doubled up rooks. And I went from a 3.97 advantage to 2.88. The engine wants b4 here. b4 or c4. c4 seems better with the idea of c5, locking, cementing this knight. But Kevin played queen f4 instead. And that's just not going to do it. So now I hit f6, and I'm undermining the stability of the knight. So that's why c4 with the idea of c5 was critical. And here he plays rook f1. His idea is to try and put some type of threat down the f line file, but it's well covered. So I capture on e5. And here Kevin had like 2 minutes and 30 seconds left on his clock. And I didn't hit my clock because I wanted to afford him more time to play the game. But when he brought it up, I told him I knew my clock was still running and let's finish the game off my clock. So I think I had like 30 minutes left still. And the time control was 60 minutes, 5 seconds increment. So he went on and resigned here and he didn't play it out. So this is a good start to the tournament. My opponent made a few mistakes and I capitalized on the mistakes, stayed sharp, got an advantage, and was able to close the win. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. It's absolutely free. Tell all your friends about it and let's grow the channel. Thank you. Have a nice day and happy holidays.